I never thought I'd end up posting in a subreddit like this. For years, I was the guy defending his wife whenever people complained about their relationships. I was the husband who'd say things like, "Communication fixes everything," or, "When you find the right person, marriage feels easy." Now I realize how stupid I probably sounded. Because sometimes the person you trust most is the one quietly destroying you while smiling in your face. My name's Ethan. I'm 34. My wife, Olivia, is 32. And if you asked anyone in our town about her, they'd probably describe her as perfect. She volunteered at charity events. She remembered birthdays. She brought homemade desserts to neighborhood parties. She posted sweet photos of us online with captions like, "My best friend forever." People adored her. Hell, I adored her too. That's what made the betrayal so much worse. We'd been married for 6 years together for almost 10. No kids yet, though we'd been trying recently. We owned a decent house in the suburbs, both had stable jobs, and from the outside our life looked almost painfully normal. But somewhere along the way things changed. At first it was subtle. Olivia became colder in ways that were difficult to explain. Not openly cruel, just distant. Like her body was present, but her mind was somewhere else. She stopped laughing at my jokes. Stopped touching me casually in the kitchen. Stopped asking about my day unless it was out of obligation. And yet, online, she acted more in love than ever. That disconnect started eating at me. One night, we were sitting on the couch watching Netflix when her phone buzzed. She snatched it up so quickly it looked almost instinctive. I remember joking, "Damn, top secret?" Instead of laughing, she immediately got defensive. "Why are you always looking at my phone?" The question caught me off guard. I wasn't. You clearly were. That was the first moment my stomach dropped. Because innocent people usually don't react like that. Still, I convinced myself I was overthinking. Olivia had always been beautiful, confident, outgoing. Guys flirted with her constantly. Maybe she was just tired of attention. I wanted to believe that. Then came the late nights. At first it was work dinners. Then wine nights with friends. Then suddenly she was going out almost every weekend while I stayed home. One Friday she told me she was helping her friend Madison through a breakup. She came home at 2:30 in the morning smelling like expensive cologne. Not perfume, cologne. When I mentioned it, she rolled her eyes. "You're being paranoid." That word became her favorite weapon. Paranoid, insecure, controlling. Eventually I stopped bringing things up because somehow every conversation ended with me apologizing. That's the thing manipulative people do. They slowly train you to distrust your own instincts. And Olivia was good at it. Scarily good. A few weeks later, we attended a friend's birthday party together. I noticed Olivia spent almost the entire night texting someone, smiling at her phone, tilting the screen away whenever I walked past. At one point, I quietly asked, "Everything okay?" Without even looking up, she answered, "It's work." At 11 p.m. on a Saturday. Sure. The turning point came completely by accident. Olivia had left her Apple Watch charging in the bathroom while she showered upstairs. Notifications started lighting up the screen. I wasn't planning to snoop. I swear to God I wasn't. But then I saw this message preview. "I miss last night already." My heart literally started pounding. I picked up the watch before I could talk myself out of it. Another message appeared. "Wish you stayed longer." He suspects anything? I think part of my brain shut down right there. I opened the message thread. There were hundreds. Hundreds. The guy's name was Ryan. And judging by the messages, my wife had been sleeping with him for at least 8 months. 8 months. While we were trying for a baby. I still remember some of the texts word for word because they burned themselves into my brain. "He's too boring to notice. I only stay because the house is in both our names. You're the real excitement in my life." I felt physically sick, like genuinely nauseous. But the worst part? They mocked me constantly. My routines, my personality, my kindness. One message from Olivia said, "Ethan would probably apologize if he caught us in bed together." Ryan replied, "That's actually pathetic." And she reacted with laughing emojis. I sat there staring at the screen while my entire marriage collapsed in real time. Then I heard the shower upstairs turn off. I quickly put the watch back exactly where it was and walked downstairs before she could see my face. That night, she curled up beside me in bed and kissed my shoulder. I almost threw up. For the next few days, I lived like a ghost. I barely slept, barely ate. I kept replaying everything in my head, wondering how long I'd been made into a joke. And the scary part? Olivia acted completely normal. That's when I realized something horrifying. Cheaters don't just lie. Some of them become actors. One night, she looked me directly in the eyes and said, "I love you," hours after texting another man explicit photos. That level of deception changes how you see humanity. I started gathering evidence quietly. Screenshots, phone records, credit card receipts, hotel bookings disguised as work conferences. I found out Ryan was married too. Of course he was. Apparently ruining one relationship wasn't enough for either of them. I considered exposing everything immediately. But anger does strange things to you. Instead of exploding, I became calm. Cold calm. The kind that scares even yourself. I decided if Olivia wanted to manipulate me, I'd let her think she was winning. For almost 3 weeks, I acted normal. I cooked dinner, asked about her day, watched movies with her. Meanwhile, I was preparing my exit. I spoke to a lawyer privately, separated my finances, copied every piece of evidence onto multiple drives. And then fate handed me one final gift. Our anniversary was coming up. Olivia kept talking about how excited she was for our dinner reservation with friends and family. She even made a Facebook post about celebrating 6 beautiful years with the love of my life. Reading it made my skin crawl. That's when the revenge plan formed. The night of the anniversary dinner, Olivia looked stunning. Red dress, curled hair, perfect makeup. Everyone kept complimenting us as we walked into the restaurant. "You two are relationship goals." If only they knew. Dinner went smoothly for the first hour. Olivia played the role perfectly, laughing, touching my arm, smiling across the table. Then came dessert. I stood up holding my glass. "Before we finish tonight," I said, "I actually prepared something special." Olivia smiled instantly, probably expecting some romantic slideshow. Oh, she got one. I connected my phone to the restaurant projector we'd rented for photos. The first image appeared, a screenshot of her texts with Ryan. The room went silent. Then another. Hotel confirmations, nudes, messages mocking me, one by one. I'll never forget the exact moment Olivia realized what was happening. Her entire face drained of color. "Ethan," I kept clicking. Another screenshot, another lie, another betrayal. People around the table looked horrified. One of Olivia's friends actually whispered, "Oh my God." Ryan's wife had also been anonymously invited to the dinner. She was sitting 3 seats away. By the time she understood who Ryan was, she burst into tears. Chaos exploded instantly. Olivia grabbed my arm, hissing, "Stop this right now." I finally looked at her calmly and said, "You told him I'd apologize if I caught you cheating. Guess you were wrong." She started crying immediately. Not soft tears, full panic, begging me to talk privately. But I was done protecting her image. For years I protected it while she destroyed me behind my back. Not anymore. I walked out before she could keep manipulating the situation. And honestly, the silence afterward felt better than anything I'd experienced in months. The fallout was nuclear. Olivia's family found out. Friends picked sides. Ryan's wife filed for divorce almost immediately. Ryan himself apparently tried blaming Olivia for everything, which somehow made the whole thing even more pathetic. As for Olivia, she bombarded me with messages for weeks. At first angry, then apologetic, then desperate. She claimed she never stopped loving me. I ignored most of it, because love without respect is meaningless. A month later, she showed up at my apartment crying uncontrollably. She admitted something that still sticks with me. "I thought you'd never leave," she whispered. That sentence explained everything. She didn't cheat because I was terrible. She cheated because she thought I'd tolerate it forever. That realization changed me permanently. It's been almost a year now. The divorce is finalized. Therapy helped more than I expected. I started reconnecting with friends I'd neglected during the marriage. Started going to the gym again. Started feeling like an actual person instead of someone constantly trying to earn love. And weirdly enough, the biggest lesson wasn't about betrayal. It was about self-respect. Sometimes people treat you exactly how you allow them to. I used to think loyalty meant enduring anything. Now I know loyalty should never come at the cost of your dignity. Last thing I heard about Olivia was through mutual friends. Apparently Ryan left her too. Turns out relationships built on lies don't magically become healthy. Who could have guessed? Anyway, if you're reading this while ignoring your instincts because you're scared of the truth, don't. Your peace matters more than protecting someone else's fake image. Trust actions, not performances.